Let's begin.
All right. May I have permission from the elder to begin again?
Yes, please begin.
Thank you. Habari gani, everyone.
Kujichagulia.
Kujichagulia.
Kujichagulia, and that means...
What does it mean?
What does it mean, children?
Self-determination.
Self-determination.
Yes.
That's it.
Determined.
All right, spotlight back on Mama Page.
Spotlight on you, if I can. She's going to explain what self-determination is.
All right.
To put it succinctly, self-determination means the ability through knowledge and the willingness through our will to define ourselves. So we name ourselves, we define who we are, and we live in that power. That is our self-determination.
Ashe. So today we are celebrating Kwanzaa again for the second day. This is VlogZaa number 2. And we are here at the beautiful Ifa Kimmy's home. Thank you for hosting us.
Thank you for coming.
My pleasure. And we're just going to go through the process again. And we're going to discuss self-determination on the video with you all. And then we're going to show you a very special process that we're going to do today to more deeply integrate Kujichagulia into our moments. So, stay tuned and thanks for tuning in. So awkward.
A voice calling from within our core.
What are we here for? We realize that our power
And
lies
how we live our lives.
in how we choose to show up.
So we choose to show up as rooted grounds. And this is our living prayer. Birth from the earth,
On a path to reclaim our name.
nature, ancestral medicine to heal our home. We sow this prayer in our bodies between many hands and upon our land.
In direct response to self-hate for scarce and ecological discordancy.
But it's simple for real. We plant through forests and concrete jungle.
Inspiring youth through the selfish struggle.
Nourishing our bodies as living proof.
Sharing all we do to amplify this truth.
Yeah, we documenting it all.
Bringing it to music and throw this call. We first need life.
Yeah, we standing tall, rooted crowns. Let's rock with it, y'all.
So the reason that I celebrate Kwanzaa is actually because I've realized how inclusive Kwanzaa can actually be for all of humanity, because we're all from Africa. All of us have lineage from Africa. And when I realized that this medicine can be medicine for all people, I realized that these principles are truly valuable for all people. And so I celebrate this to try to hold something that I feel like all people can relate to, and something that I can relate to all people by way of. Alright, so Tanny, either why you celebrate, what's your favorite thing, or what you enjoy the most about your celebrations thus far?
What I enjoy the most about celebrating Kwanzaa is the unity of bringing loved ones together with the collective consciousnness of purpose, of healing, of celebration, and of truth, and passing that on into a lineage is something very beautiful. I respect it a lot.
Thank you. Mama
I love Kwanzaa because we have so few cultural rituals or rites or events that we can do that are clearly ours.
I love Kwanzaa first and foremost because I grew up celebrating it from a wee child with my father. I'm so grateful to have been given an opportunity to be restored to a value system and a cultural identity that is intentionally removed from us, and understanding that these principles are foundations for community and living well all throughout the year. So right there we have the blueprint, and I love that. Yes.
I celebrate Kwanzaa because I see, first of all, because my son's mother, it is a very integral part of her identity and, the values that she learned growing up, and I want to pass that on to my son. But I personally love Kwanzaa because I see it as a formula. A formula. You can let me talk. It's a formula for self and community empowerment. I see it as a beautiful expression of qualities that everybody can relate to. As, you know,
I like Kwanzaa because of the decorations and the candles, and I just really like that.
I like Kwanzaa because it's a time where basically you can come together and like you can make things for other people, like actually put your heart into something and make other people feel good about what you're doing.
Beautiful. Thank you, everybody. That's why we celebrate Kwanzaa. Alright, Kelly, you want to say why you celebrate Kwanzaa? Because you just a talking.
Yeah, just
Why you celebrate Kwanzaa? Alright. I've been celebrating Kwanzaa my whole life, like Ifakemi. And one of the biggest ideas that transformed Kujichagulia specifically for me was the idea of abstract words. So there are 3 kinds of words. There is an abstraction that, there's a word that can point to something, like drum, plant, you know. And then there's a word that can point to a group of something, like drums or forest. But then there's an abstract word. And an abstract word, you can't actually point to anything. It's an idea that you can try to communicate, but it's relative. And so everyone defines it differently. And it's just a fundamental thing. So self-determination is about defining for ourselves. And as I began to understand this power with abstractions, it helped me to not only define for myself, but allow others to define for themselves. And I realized that within that process of allowing others to define for themselves, allowing myself to define for myself, we can also co-create a reality together. Despite what the reality is, we can choose to transform it. And so that can look a lot of ways. That can look like energetically making affirmations, quoting a certain frequency. It can look like what we're doing tonight, which is creating vision boards and putting our visions and our dreams and that which calls us into a visual form that we can reflect on every day. And it can look like simply holding a conversation and really hearing each other into what each other's definitions are of ourselves, of our words, of our values, and never thinking that I can define for you, but that we can define for ourselves collectively. And so Kujichagulia is a really powerful idea for me. Yeah, he just peed. Yeah. It's a really powerful. Yup. It's a really powerful idea for me for that reason. And I hope that it inspires you to reflect on how you would define for yourself and how you would honor how other people define for themselves.